I think you won't get any mercy from me.
You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Why did they yell?
I don't know.
It's so loud. Like I could hear through my fucking headphones.
Mm-hmm. It was very loud. Come here. Good. Good.
He already had a math degree. He's good at math. Better at math maybe than writing history dissertations. What's that? Yeah, but he did have a few interruptions, and I think it was like 13 years. It wasn't quite. I mean, it was still crazy long, but I don't think it was 17. I mean, I'm
Well,
not sure when he
hello,
started it.
and
I
welcome to the
feel like
home
I
of the
remember him saying
iconoclasts.
that
I'm
he's on
Rose.
year
Please
13
take a
and he's
pamphlet.
looking for an extension.
In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham, his philosophist truths, and the iconoclast way. He wrote it himself, you know. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting we're out of pamphlets. Gosh, blast it. Why, we're the only free people in Halcyon. No corporations, no shackles, no problems. Oh, those are just hurdles. We deal with them as they come. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep. The new boy! Yes, he's quite clever. He took to our teachings very quickly. Last I saw him, he was headed into one of the buildings up the hill.
Damn philosophists.
Everybody here looks wore out. Is it just me?
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts? Yes, I've been meaning to discuss exactly that. Now that we know where, the scholar is, when will we be searching him out?
That Chief Junlei sure seems well, huh?
I recommend we expand into Go as well. No, but I watched like a few minutes of Go playing after like reading more about AlphaGo, and now I've decided that I'm going to become a pro. I like Go because the rules seem like really easy. Like it's just that the gameplay is hard. Like the rules. Yeah. A 19 by 19 grid.
Stripped. Boy, damn things. Bronson ain't gonna take stripped screws.
Aaron Kenna was not a sub guy. Just gotta throw that out there. He's not a weirdo.
All I'm
He was
saying
not
is it ain't worth it. It's
a.
gonna taste
No,
like
he wasn't.
sulfur all the same.
No, he's not a sub.
Carol's got sweet love.
Okay, now I'm in doubt, but I'm pretty sure he's not a sub dude because, yeah, of course he's in the Navy.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
What'd you say?
He wasn't.
Yeah, I know he wasn't. I know he wasn't.
Never seen you before.
Yeah, he's not a sub. No, because you would know because submarine people are weird. And like Aaron's weird, but not weird like that. All Navy guys have been on a submarine, but he wasn't a submarine. That wasn't his role in the Navy. What?
Take my
No,
advice.
he was also not
And
an aircraft carrier. I
get
think he
off
was on
board
a
if you
frigate.
can, if you can't.
Because I remember
Take
him
it
telling
away.
me a story too
I did halfway around
about
T1.
pirates in Somalia,
Monarch, they
and
call
it
it.
wouldn't have been an aircraft carrier.
Been
I think
around
he
it
was a
twice.
frigate.
Stood at the hot pole and the cold.
Yeah.
Nothing on this moon for nobody. There's a lot of heartbreak. A great many things. I'll tell you what. You want to listen to an old man ramble? There might be a job in it for you.
Damn.
I used to run with a squad of mercenaries here. Good folk. Fella named Lamont introduced me. Thing is, I ain't seen them in an age. Stands to reason they got themselves ate. Oh, sure. I was with them when the corps were leaving Monarch. Hell of a time, that. We split ways around the time this twice-fucked moon got abandoned. Thing is, I got myself some fond memories. We had some keepsakes of ours we kept in a lockbox, and I've been thinking about seeing it found.
Show us your butt. Show us your butt.
Thereabouts. I'll be glad for it, but I ain't stupid. This planet tends to get people killed. I just
No,
want some
please.
closure. Appreciate it, kid. I'm marking outposts on your map.
Ugh.
You spend a lot of time out there. Might be a good place to start. Here's a key for the door.
Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. What do I call you, stranger? Welcome to Amber Heights, Captain. Call me Tucker. You here to join the Iconoclasts? Help us free this world? I am not a little boy. Haven't been one for decades, no matter what my mama wishes. I take it she's still looking for me? Had hoped she'd accept my decision. According to her, stepping foot outside of the house in broad daylight is too dangerous. My entire life, she crammed a fear of danger down my throat. Don't go play with friends. Mantisaurs will tear your arms off. Don't leave the city. Raptidons will spit acid on your face. Marauders can violate you. You'd fall in a sulfur pool.
That's where you're moving.
I stuck around way too long, ruled by her fears. I'm 42 years old, but she still sees me as a little boy in need of her protection. I won't stand for it, I tell you. She doesn't want to see me as anything other than her baby boy. Why would I go back again? What'll be different this
The other
time?
guy. That's what it says in the law. It says the other guy can't be drunk.
You're right. I can do this. I just need to stand my ground and make her see she can't control me anymore. No one can.
Seems like a nice little town. Except for all the...
Me. Me. Wait, Brit, you can, right? So it's hard. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, if we did need to destroy
Really,
the
the
body,
hardest part
this
is
would be a
like
good
getting
spot
it
for it.
started. I think that's what people
I don't
struggle
got
with
much
the most.
use for
And
something
after
that
that,
won't work.
like,
Neat that it's here, though.
like, yeah. Yeah. I would say that when people are learning stick shift, the thing that's the hardest for them is like figuring out where on their clutch they're actually going to like engage their engine. So like from not moving to moving is I think what's hardest.
That's the last of them.
Oh, okay. See you later.
Sure thing.
Here they come.
Bye, Paul.
That's smart.
Wendy's. Pizza, juicy pizza. Juicy.
Got it.
Have your backpack.
Juicy.
Right hit!
disease control. You had it.
This is the simple truth. We are all molecular machines. The body is a collection of atoms. The mind is a consequence of chemical reactions. Therefore, our lives are predestined along a path that is only visible in retrospect. Life is fated and unstoppable.
I don't know, Mr. Vicar. That seems like quite a leap.
You know everything about it. Well, let me ask you something, Andrew. If you contract COVID-19, do you learn something new? Yeah, not like book learning, though. I don't know. He just announced that he's canceled his rally. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah. And I think he's still the top comment under the post of this news story that he's canceled his rally is, yeah, because he's high out of his gourd on meth or something, on dexamethasone. Yeah.
Keep your wits about you.
Yeah, apparently he also like is kind of delirious. Apparently he said on like one of those Fox shows that he called into that he beat Biden in the first debate and then he beat Biden in the second debate, which obviously hasn't happened yet. So
That's awfully kind of you, mister.
Oh, now, come on. All I mean is, well, rather that, you don't seem like the usual pigeons we pluck. No offense, of course, if you are a Byzantium gold-blood. Say, I'd like to do you a favor. Might I interest you in a surefire scheme?
yeah, I'm not so sure that he's like in bad shape, like in terms of symptoms. I think it's just that he's addled as fuck and probably has long periods where he's just like on one.
I certainly hope you're not insinuating the problem is me. I mean, that would be preposterous.
Yeah.
I never do anything under the table. That, Miss Malin ain't aware of. If there's any issue,
well, I mean, it
should talk to
wasn't
her.
linked to a news site.
She's straight back in Malin's House of Hospitality. Oh, right. Well, I mean, if you're interested. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats.
Is not going to overcome the strong dislike. Bloomberg. It's on Bloomberg News here. Let me...
See? I know a fellow genius when I clap eyes on him. Too right you are. Only problem is my sprat carriers ain't arrived from their latest run. As I was saying, you look more capable than most of the hoople heads around these parts. What say you locate him and retrieve the goods for me? In return, I'll cut you 5% of the profit. 35%? Are you out of your gourd? If I wasn't recovering from a bout of Margellans, I wouldn't stand for this. But things are what they are, so I'll agree to it. But not 0.5% more. My sprat carriers scurry back and forth through the shipping tunnels. Any trail ought to start there. When you've got the goods, I'll be here.
Want to make a run with me? Boss lady told me to take the night off.
No, I'm beat. Just got back from delivering a strange family.
The ones that always smell
I
like...
want to hear what. Wait, Catherine. What is your? Who is your company?
Yep.
What is your company
Honest thing.
name?
They started ordering cans of floor sprays.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told us that.
Shh.
My dry goods come 75% guaranteed mold-free.
Come here.
Or was that 75% mold-free? No rubbernecking. Make a buy or move on.
I'm guessing the methodology is like hush hush. Is it like a huge many degrees of freedom data sort of? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Interesting. So just like totally employed. Yeah, that's like on that principle. Like what do they did? They did that with like a cow or something. The like paradigm example was like they got like 100 people or something to guess the weight of a cow. None of them knew anything about cows, and the average was like within like 2 pounds of the cow's weight. Yeah. That like this there's like a paradigm example of this sort of like um dispersing a question about some other object, like not a subjective question, and like you get enough perspectives on it, you tend to like converge towards the right answer. And so like the example that I'm thinking of and that I think is kind of a paradigm example of this is they got a whole bunch of people who didn't know anything about cows to guess the weight of this cow, and the average was, yeah, like within a few pounds of the cow's weight. Well, I mean, I don't think it should be confused with like bell curves in general, because in this case, there's sort of like a very specific piece of information. Yeah.
Hungry? No rubberneck.
Hmm.
You shopping for pre-owned or new? If you bloody it, you buy it. Store policy.
I mean, maybe, but I also think that that's also about like the political culture, like normal people who still vote aren't that aren't like idol worshiping the person they're choosing. They're just sort of like voting as their civic duty for who they think will do the best job. Whereas Trump has this like cult of personality, I don't think people who who vote are necessarily looking for an idol anyway. There's a huge contingent who might be excited to vote for Biden in a certain respect, but they're just not like, I'm gonna paint Biden 2020 on my truck because that's insane.
I test every product myself. No.
Uh-huh. You blind, fella? Or can you not see I'm busy? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout awful friendly? Welcome to Fallbrook. Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land. Like a void damn advert.
Sorry to trouble you, Ms. Malin. I understand you're a terribly important figure in these parts. Perhaps you could point me to a man by the name of Reginald Cheney.
That sprat shit better not have brought trouble into my town. He's a long-term renter. Easily replaceable. Check his domicile. Whatever happens, I don't fucking care. Just keep the mess from staining my little nugget of paradise, and we'll be grand. You know, I ain't heard that one before. Suppose I'll have to work harder to show you just what makes our town shine. But first, I'll need to know what brings you, stranger. Well, I'm half listening. Good of you to finally haul your ass over here. I wired for backup weeks ago. Got something that's gonna require special extraction from Cascadia. Found it on a corpse, huh? If you killed Lilia's agent, you get to explain it to her. Not me. Well, shit. I knew he'd come to a bad end one day. Still, no time for weeping and wailing. We've got a metric fuck-ton of bits worth of salvage just waiting for extraction. All right. One of my runners uncovered a cache of Alta Vitae gas, left in a lab when the board abandoned Cascadia. To extract the gas, you'll need to siphon it from the lab in Cascadia into one of your ship's fuel tanks. Totally safe. I do like your gumption, but let's not be hasty. To get to the gas, you'll need to navigate through the town, which is overrun by marauders. The lab itself has become an infested nest, crawling with mantis. You gotta fight through, or figure out some other way to exterminate them. Maybe the ventilation system? Clever! That's why Lilia's paying you, I take it. Now, after you clear the mantis nest and reach the storage room, all that's left is to get the gas flowing into the fuel system. The task will require someone with technical skills. Or you could force it through with a plasma overload. Don't recommend that option, though, unless you want to get dead.
Load vapors into a liquid propellant tank? I think I know how to do that. No, I can do that. I think. Yes. Mostly? Definitely.
Dandy. Did I mention the gas is of an extremely volatile nature? Handle it with the utmost of care. Once you've got our goods, take them to the groundbreaker. Lilia's fencers ought to handle the rest of it. I've marked the coordinates for you to the lab in Cascadia. On the terminal, use the passcode you got from Stellar Bay to get in. But before you make your run, I could use a heavy helping hand regarding a local issue. For a fine fee, of course. Good. This particular matter of opportunity has been eating at me for a while now. There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. Clive Lundberg, insufferable prick. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. I want it. Clear as that. Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit and drowning in his ego. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. I want that Borst factory, owner dead or alive. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid son of a bitch who's gonna get it for me. Guess you've got it figured out then. Good. Hit him where it hurts. In his gut, or his production lines ought to make do. If you got brass knockers, you can shoot your way through the front gate. If you don't fancy getting shot to shit, you can try asking Duncan for a disguise. Might be another way in, assuming you're courageous enough to trek the sewers. Void if I know. Then I'd say you might care to poison the cysty pigs, doctor a few financial records, or throw a wrench in the canning machinery. Sometimes the simplest solution is the sweetest. I don't give a whit about the method or the means, just the end. It'll be more than good when you're finished. Maybe not for Clive, but for me and you, I'm sure. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the dry goods and sundry building. He ought to have an employee ID in that stash of illicit goods he keeps for select clientele. May luck be with you, since I won't be.
Remind me never to get on Ms. Malin's bad side.
You know how there's folk who are all crusty outside, but warm and squishy inside? I'm pretty sure she's crust all the way through.
Well, I also think that even aside from all of the like very real material changes to people's rights that might occur, like I think the thing that like sometimes gets overlooked in the laundry, well, it doesn't get overlooked, but I think that sort of like gets put into a different bracket in the laundry list of things that Trump has done to the US is that, I mean, he's basically, well, him with the help of the whole GOP have like destroyed the governing apparatus in large part, right? I mean, the cabinet is full of incompetent morons. The Senate has sat on over 400 bills. Like everything about the way that the U.S. is supposed to be governed has been severely. Yeah, I mean, by and large, because he's appointed so many. Yeah, but he's managed to appoint a whole bunch of incompetent people, destroy a whole bunch of. I think that's intellectually lazy to say. I mean, we can point to concrete.
Sounds like Cheney's gone gold panning down on the river. I guess even scholars need to find ways to make ends meet in exile.
That's also not what I said, but okay.
always imagined Fallbrook would be cleaner, fancier, cheaper. I've emptied.
I mean, who cares about whether or not they're good people? It matters if they fulfill the like obligations of their civic service. And one person who isn't is Mitch McConnell. But I think.
What do you want? Oh, hey, Vicar Max. What are you doing on Monarch? I thought scienticians ain't welcome here.
Haven't you heard? Everyone's welcome here.
I
It's a fucking worker's paradise. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Never worked a day in your miserable life. You're just a parasite, living off my goodwill. Well, guess what? My goodwill's exhausted, along with my temper. This is the guy who told me about the book while we were in prison. I lied about finding a scholar. But I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to inflict massive amounts of pain on this guy. Yes, that's about the long and short of it. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right. I was about to beat you. Severely.
Wait! I know who can translate the book for you.
It's too late for that. I threw away my life chasing fairy tales. Will punishing you fix any of that? Of course not. But by law, it will make me feel a whole lot better.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Oh no.
Okay. Talk, Reggie.
It was stolen from some sort of expert on philosophism. Weird hermit lady on Scylla. My father used to deliver supplies to the mining outpost there. It's true. My father collected some extra bits on the side by diverting some of the supplies to the gal. The way he told it, he thought the book looked valuable, so he took it. Couldn't find any buyers when it turned out to not only be French, but banned as well.
Fine. We've got more important things to do anyway. I want to thank you for talking some sense into me back there with Cheney. It has been a long time since I gave in to my violent enthusiasm. You're right. I owe you an apology. I've been so obsessed for so long.
So first of all, though, just because it is true,
you offered me a place on your crew,
true that
friendship,
getting rid of Trump
and I
won't
used
fix
you to
everything.
get to Cheney.
I think it can't be understated
then,
how
you
much
saved me from
was
myself.
undermined just in the
I
last
don't know
4
if I could
years
live with
because
myself
of
had I
it.
gone through
Because
it.
major
You owe me
institutions
nothing, I know,
in
but
the apparatus of American
I'm begging your
government have been
forgiveness.
greatly eroded by his decisions in particular. And like I don't know why I don't like if I suppose it comes down to each individual institution that's been eroded, but I don't see how it could be so easily decided that it's either good or bad. I would say that by and large, the destruction of the EPA is pretty bad. I would say by and large, voter suppression is pretty bad. I would say by and large, gerrymandering is pretty bad. I would say by and large, the fact that most of his cabinet members have no qualifications whatsoever is pretty bad. I mean, those are things that are pretty bad. I also kind of wonder why, when people talk about Trump being an outsider, they think that this is somehow a good feature, and that just because someone has spent a long time in government, that must mean that they're somehow bad. I mean, typically one would expect that a person with experience is a person
It did
qualified.
provide me with plenty of time to think. The way I see it, the universe was snapping me back to where I needed to be. You stray too far from the course of your destiny, the world will try to correct for it. Destined to prevail.
Here they come!
Nice one, Captain! Fate shines on us today.
Cool.
Hey, Jess. Knock, knock.
No, but thank you. I'm quite all right as I am. Oh, you're still here. I said I don't require anything at this time. Run along now. I've had more than enough to satisfy my thirst for one evening. Deal? A rather bad one indeed. The fella swore Fallbrook was unrivaled in its leisurely pursuits. But it seems to me the whole town is designed primarily to leech one's bits. And now that I've run dry, or nearly so, the fellas have abandoned me back to Byzantium. You wouldn't leave a friend in need, I'm sure. Don't suppose I could just ask you to scram.
Did you find them? Tell me you found my sprat carriers. Would hate should anything dire have befallen them.
Christ.
Seeing as how that statement is wink-free, I am madder than a mantis swarm, and ready to bite somebody. You want your cut? You get me the rest of my drugs, no matter what it takes. Got the goods? Because I know you wouldn't be wasting my time otherwise.
Just exactly the requirements you would hope for in a president. Oh.
Minnie Malin, get your twitchy whiskers back here! Don't you run out that door! It's a cruel world outside!
You probably just need to do a little more research on Proud Boys, because it's not, like, ambiguous. They are definitely white supremacists. Like,
Damn it all! Now look what you've done. It'll take me ages to round him up again. State your purpose, or get out of my face, domicile intruder.
Yeah, they're a euphemism for white supremacy. I mean, like...
Missing? Nope. Nope. Mine are all found and accounted for, thank you kindly. Now if that'll be all, I've got an animal rescue service to oversee, and it ain't easy. Lots to do. Got a multitude of sprats to spay and feed. Day in, day out, they ran their little route, getting picked off along the way. What was I to do, turn a blind eye? Malin's an animal lover. She won't hold my actions against me. Look, I don't care if Nilsson sent you or not. You won't be hurting my hair on any of these sprats' heads. I've killed vicious beasts for them. I ain't afraid to take on a human. Back out of this domicile, hands up, or become sprat food, intruder. You want to dig through sprat droppings? Be my guest. get your drugs, then get lost.
Yeah, because he couldn't just say no, which should have been like a major red flag to
Got
any
the goods?
rational person.
Because I know you wouldn't be wasting my time otherwise. Wink. Got the goods? Because I know you wouldn't be wasting my time otherwise. Wink. Just my luck. I mean, sure, every scheme has its leaks to plug. But at this rate, I'll be ruined. What am I gonna do now? Great. And now I'm in the red. Some scheme this turned out to be. No offense, but next time, I think I'll go with someone else.
Trouble checking in? Or you might need directions to the amenities? If you're locked out of your cabin, a replacement key costs 50 bits.
No, he said stand back and stand by. And it's also probably important to observe what happened in between him saying something to the Proud Boys and everything else. But I think that like we're like under some kind of spell if we're not being honest with ourselves about the fact that he couldn't just say, yes, I condemn white supremacy. Like, it's not hard.
Step lively, Miss Holcomb.
I'm not winded. Honest.
Then why couldn't he say it then, you know? Like, it's easy to say, yes, I condemn white supremacy. The fact that he walked around it with his speech shouldn't be ignored. Like I don't think that's a good faith
As
interpretation
always, I am
of
at
what
your
happened
disposal.
there.
What's occupying your thoughts?